talked with Commissioner Abbott and about it, and county manager. And I told you then I'd have to go on record. I know you've got to make these tough decisions. We know it's coming. But you know, when my guy's making starting salary and over half of them making $28,500 a year, and then we're going to ask them to pay another $4,000 a year, that's another $4,000 on top of that, or $6,000 or $7,000 or whatever. It's going to calculate out to that means another $22,000 they're going to take home, $6,000 or $7,000 less. You know, they're only making $28,500. So I just want to go on record, and I've got people bailing shift now, looking for jobs. I've got 4 openings right now I've got to fill because of this issue here alone. But you know, and I know what we talked about, and I just want to go on record. And I'm not against what we got to do. I know we have to do a tough decision. I've made some tough decisions, and I might have to make some more. But my thing is, I've got to serve the public, and public safety is my issue, and I'm adamant about my employees and public safety. So that's all I need.
Hearing on,
Thank you. It's been newly advertised for a public hearing for this evening.
First public hearing is on floodplains.
That's correct. Yes, sir. The floodplain management ordinance has been in existence in its present state since 2006. Recently, Washington County was the recipient of having a new flood insurance study completed for Washington County, and as such, there were new flood insurance rate maps prepared. As of July 1st, 2011, the new firms, flood insurance rate maps, have been in effect, and the National Flood Insurance Program requires that our ordinances be updated to meet the current standards of the National Flood Insurance Program. We had our ordinance reviewed by the state and FEMA, and they prepared a punch list of items that need to be modified in our ordinance. We have addressed each of these issues, and the proposed amendment that is before the board addresses those items. They're pretty insignificant in nature. It's like one of the items, the biggest item I felt was identifying that the building official is the floodplain management administrator for the county. It was not clear in our previous ordinance that was, and it's very important, you know, for property owners that do have to carry flood insurance. If we are not in compliance with the National Flood Insurance Program, that would not be available to them. It could be a real issue because any mortgage that is backed by the federal government in our banks is required to have flood insurance. So it could be substantial. So I'm open to any questions. I've been more than happy to try.
So moved, Kevin. All right, do I have a second? Mr. Second. Those in favor? Aye. Motion approved. For Washington County. Mr. Bill.
Thank you very much. Several months ago, I was directed to look at making modifications to the existing sign ordinance, which is Section 7 of our Land Development Code. Brought this to the Planning Commission, and it was recommended that a board of represented citizens, business owners, be selected and empowered to look at our current ordinance and make recommendations. We did have a committee that was volunteered of business owners that dealt with signs in our community, general public persons, commissioners, planning commissioners, and they started meeting in November of last year and proceeded to look over our ordinance and review other communities' ordinances. And it was a recommendation by that signed ordinance review committee that we should look at stepping our existing ordinance aside and modifying in other counties to more reflect our needs. And they met, like I said, for over 7 months to review this. They presented their recommendation after holding 2 neighborhood or public information meetings where we received comments from business owners and commissioners, and we addressed those items, made the changes to the ordinance, and it was a great process. As I mentioned at our workshop, I'm very proud of our citizens that stepped forward. It was very encouraging, and they were attended the meetings, they reviewed the materials, they worked through issues, they came into compromises. Not everybody was happy with everything, but they all agreed on and it was unanimously approved. It was presented to the Planning Commission. There were some additional concerns that was surfaced at the Planning Commission meeting, sent it back to the Sign Ordinance Committee. They reviewed those issues, made modifications, unanimously recommended approval. The Planning Commission reviewed those changes and it was approved. And they're recommending approval of our new signed ordinance, the new Section 7 of our Land Development Code. If there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to try to address those.
Any commissioners got any questions? Mr. Robert?
Mr. Durant, I attended 2 of your meetings, and I found that there was a tremendous amount of effort and work put into that. You're to be commended for guiding that. My question is, at the workshop earlier this month, I had asked that you take a final copy of what you're asking us to vote on and give it to the sign companies that we have in Washington County to see if they have any concerns.
Yes, sir.
That was done, I understood.
Yes, sir.
Was there any concerns that come back to you?
No, sir.
Okay, none at all?
No, sir.
And they responded back to you as they had no concerns?
No, sir. There was no comments back.
Okay.
I asked, I said, if you have any issues, let me know. I'd be more than happy to try to talk to you about these. But at this point, it stands as recommended.
Anybody else? Any member of the audience want to address the amendment to the Land Development Code, Section 7, regarding sign regulations for Washington County? Do I have a motion to approve the amendment for the close of public meeting? Public meeting on the sign ordinance is closed. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we approve the sign regulations, the new sign regulations, as are written.